Welcome to the Popcorn Clash.
When the only thing poppin'
is our topics
and our snacks.
Welcome back to the Popcorn Clash, and today's topic:
paranormal.
Ooh, scary. Sobrenatural.
And it's perfect for the Halloween season.
My favorite time
To be scared.
Now, let me ask you something.
Yeah.
What do you like most of this time of the year? The colorful trees or the spooky houses?
Spooky houses and spooky stories to go with those houses.
Exactly. I think both.
It could be both. Well, we for everybody that doesn't know, we have a couple neighbors that like to decorate their houses to the max, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The one
They
over
have
there in the corner.
Halloween contest.
Yeah, they have a Halloween contest, and they actually do a very, very good job.
Oh yeah. One of the houses they have actual live actors, and last year
I got scared.
we all went as a family, and I think Eddie saw when Mom got scared.
Yeah.
One of the guys, they were pretending to like be sitting in like
they
a
were
prop.
sitting in a chair.
They're like if they were one of the dolls, and then I still remember
I cried.
my mom.
So-
She screamed.
Believe me, I cried.
So why the actor was just sitting down?
It was
Yeah.
sitting down, and then
Weren't you recording?
no, I
No,
don't think he was there.
I wasn't recording at that time. No, I was there, but I wasn't recording.
Oh, and no, my mom, the monster
I was
just
next
like
to you, no, Krista?
I don't
I was
remember.
walking with you.
I don't remember, but
That
I
was
just
a
remember
year
you.
ago.
I just remember hearing you scream. So I'm pretty sure like the monster, like the live actor, jumped up.
Yeah,
and
because
scared
he
you.
moved and jumped up of that chair, and I got super scared. Yeah, I remember that.
Well, that was
I cried.
that house is still there. They still decorate that house.
It's really nice.
It's it is very, very nice.
And I don't want to go.
And you don't want to
Visit
go.
it again. No, I don't want to be scared again.
Well, we're gonna have to like kind of a go and like trick you that we're going somewhere else so you could go.
Maybe on the day.
And yeah,
On the
but
day.
coming back to the main topic of the night, paranormal,
Hi.
and we're gonna be talking about experiences that we've had or that people has had. Like, Crystal, I don't know if you've had any experience.
Not that like are like major. There's some things like on our old house, the house across the park, like in 2006 maybe or something like that. I would be upstairs in my room, and for some reason, my sister's room, it was like right across the hall. Her room creeped me out. I don't know what it was. It was just, it gave me chill vibes, and we had a closet too upstairs, and that closet was weird. It was kind of like a walk-in closet, but it was dark in there, and it was, I don't know. Every single time when I ran up the stairs, I just like didn't look, and I just ran into my room. And in my room, there was one time I was by myself, or no, I was with a friend, and I had some utensils, or not utensils. I had some like pencils and pens on top of my nightstand, and then like all of a sudden, it just rolls off. Like nobody was by it. Like there was no wind. Doors were closed.
It was
and
only
everything.
you on your own?
It was me. I think that time I had my friend with me, and we got so scared and we ran downstairs. I'm just like, oh my God, I can't. Scary experiences are not for me.
What about you, Eddie?
Ooh, I got a good one. It was when, I was just chilling. It was night, and then the light turned on by itself,
Wait, when?
and then it turned back off.
No, actually, it happened here, didn't it? In this living room. When they turn on the Christmas tree and they turn it back off.
Yeah, it was the Christmas tree.
It was here.
Yeah.
Remember that?
I don't remember.
God, was that last year or 2 years ago?
It
no.
was the Christmas that just passed.
No, yeah, it was, yeah.
Or 2020 Christmas.
It was before we took off the Christmas tree in January.
Yeah, I think it was in January.
Oh my God, I remember that. It
Yeah.
was the beginning of January. Wasn't it?
No,
Or
no,
in the middle of
in the middle, in
January?
the
It was
middle.
in the middle of January.
Yeah, it was in the middle
I
of January.
remember that now. Oh my god, that was like in the back of my head, but now it's open. The memory box is open.
It was like midday, and we were just chilling on the couch, and it just turns on and it turns back off.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was weird.
I do remember that now.
But we had a control remote, no, to turn it on, turn it off.
But
No.
it was in the middle of the day.
Yeah, it was in the middle of the day.
In order to turn it on, you had to press the button on the remote. But it turned on and then it turned off, like back to back. I remember. Oh my god! Now I'm getting chills.
See, it kind of just came to my mind right now, and that happened recently.
This year.
Yeah.
Yeah, in January.
Oh, I haven't heard anything in this house, but I remember in 1995, on the first house that we moved.
No, Don Tomasito's house.
Yeah, it was
No.
1995, 1996.
1996. That was when Alexis was born.
Oh yeah, she was little. Yeah, and I remember that this happened during the midday. Always, they turned off I was listening music, and they turned off the radio, and they turned on the TV.
What?
And one time they threw out the cans, the fruit cans. They're heavy,
Yeah.
and
They were thrown?
yeah.
Oh my
That
god.
time I was so scared, and I used
What did-
start saying, "Oh, go away, leaving me alone."
Oh my
Now
god.
I got
The door, and I was so scared when I don't know what to do, but
it was.
I was so
Who do you mean by they?
A spirit? I don't know. She was. Were
I
you
was the
alone?
only one in the house with Alexis.
Okay, well, let me tell you a little bit about that story. In that house, this was the building in Rockwell, right?
Yeah.
On Rockwell. Okay, so in that house, not only us, but my aunt, one of my aunts, they will see a little girl, going up.
know that.
There was a little girl going up and down the stairs in the back stairs by the porch. So she would just go up and down, a little girl.
Oh my god.
My tia Juanita, she was the one that saw this little girl. I wish I could call her right now, but she's probably sleeping. But she was the one that told us that there was a little girl around there somewhere.
How long
And
have you
she
known
saw
this?
the little girl?
I think so.
How long did you know this and
my
keeping
God, I
it from my
didn't
mom?
Well, actually,
Thank God we didn't live for that long.
no, we
that
didn't live there
house.
for long.
No.
I found out like after the fact, after we actually lived there.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it's something that I didn't know like right away. But you guys want me to tell you a very spooky story?
Yeah.
Okay, this happened in Mexico. This is a story that my grandmother told me about. When she got married, she used to live in this one flat apartment complex. Okay, it was like a one level only. So, in the apartment where she was in, one night, she was laying in bed with my grandfather. My grandfather would sleep close to the wall, and she would sleep in the edge because she was always getting up early before my grandfather got up.
Okay.
So one night, she said that they were laying in bed, and then she just out of nothing, she saw this lady floating towards the bed in her room. So I'm getting the chills. I'm telling you the story. So as the lady was floating towards my grandmother, she got scared and she screamed, and she told my grandfather, "There's somebody here." And my grandfather, instead of getting up and checking it out, he covered his head with the,
Oh my god.
and this is something they told me. I'm not making this up. They told me this story. So then my grandmother, she got she was just looking at the ghost, at the lady. It was a lady coming towards her, and she grabbed her dress, and she kind of dragged it towards the where the door was, and she dropped it in the frame, in the frame of the door, and she just vanished. So what happened next day? The first thing that my grandmother and my grandfather did, they moved out.
Oh my god.
Like ASAP.
Yeah, I would
course.
have
Yeah,
too.
they moved out ASAP. But then the next couple that rented that house, they actually dug a lot of money on that frame.
You kidding?
So basically, that the ghost was telling my grandmother,
They were giving them
there's
money.
there's money here.
Oh,
You have to dig it out.
God.
So, but the people that actually dug it out passed away.
So it was like
Oh.
kind of cursed. So then maybe like the spirit was protecting the money then.
I don't know, but they say that when you undig money, the money that's like put away for a long time, it builds gases.
Yeah.
And those gases are deadly.
Yeah.
It's like carbon monoxide. I don't know what kind of gas it is, but
Yeah, you have to be protected.
you
with
have
a
to be
mask or
protected with a mask,
something.
with a gas mask or something. And so the people that dug it out, they were not protected, and they passed away. So, and it's a true story because my grandmother, and my grandfather, they told me the story together. I mean, it was pretty spooky.
Yeah.
Wow. It's like a scientific thing why the money was bad and me thinking spirits cursed. Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so many stories. I mean, I don't want to mix real stories with legends, but I mean, we could talk all night about scary stuff.
Oh, definitely.
And I'm pretty sure
That's
there's
rough.
like more things that happened to me that I probably don't remember, like the whole light.
Oh, you
Christmas
don't want to
light.
remember?
Yeah, like it's hidden in my memory box for a reason. Let it stay in there. Don't wake it up.
Yep. So that was very, very spooky. So, but let's not waste any more time, and let's get our first caller. That's gonna be my sister Nancy. That she has a lot of very, very spooky stories about her house in
Yeah.
Hickory Hills.
She had a few encounters, right?
Yeah, her house is being haunted.
Yeah.
It was
Her,
It was,
her old
yeah,
house.
our old house.
She doesn't live there anymore.
the one in Hickory Hills, right?
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello, Nancy. We're calling you from the Popcorn Clash, and we know that you have some very, very spooky stories about Hickory Hills.
Oh, that sounds scary.
Oh no. Ooh, scary.
Scary, I would say. Scotty. Mm-hmm.
So,
Yes, I do.
share a couple of stories with us.
Well. I cannot remember the year. I think it was in 2007, 2006. I can't remember the year that I actually bought that property. And as they were fixing the floors, the hardwood floors for me to move in prior to me moving in, there was an accident by Midway. I remember heading that way to open up for the people that were doing the work. And I was running a little bit late because it had been snowing, and I guess that was the first sign, and I should have said, no, I'm moving out, or I'm not moving in, better yet. When the people told me, when I got there, they're like, oh, okay, well, let's see if today they will let us work. And I implied, what do you mean by who's not letting you work? And then the guy literally told me, he's like, well, we've been working here and there's been things happening throughout the day, like the tools, they'll hide the tools for us. They'll be messing around with us, unexplainable things that it's hard for me to explain. And I was like, what? But he's like, but you shouldn't worry about it. Maybe it's just us. But he literally implied that somebody was not letting them work. And when we say somebody, he meant ghost-wise.
Oh,
You
wow.
mean you're telling me that when you purchased this house and you had people working in your house fixing floors, somebody was messing around with their tools, like hiding their tools or something like that? Like obviously it was only certain people in the house, right?
Yeah, it was a couple. I guess they were like a crew and they were fixing floors. But he said that even one time, one of the examples that he mentioned was that they would suddenly their tools would be gone missing from where literally I just put it down and then I turn around to grab it and it's not there anymore.
Oh my
Or for example, one time he said that because I guess the lady that previously lived there left some furniture, and I remember that the room that was in Karina's room, there was a dresser, which is the dresser that eventually my mom took it downstairs and she had it in her room. But that dresser, when they tried moving it out of the bedroom, it seemed like it was two men and they could not, for some reason, get it out of the room. Like when they were trying to move it out, it got so heavy that two men could not lift that dresser up. Like it was just like not moving, not going anywhere.
What? I've never heard
Mhm.
that.
So you're saying that that dresser was kind of a possessed?
Like a heavy energy,
Well,
There
no?
was
no,
something attached to
not
it.
possessed, but somebody was like making it for them not to be able to move the
move.
dresser. Like
Mm-hmm.
he said that once they were going through the door, like going through the door, like out of the room, the dresser, they just could not move it until afterwards. They just came and then suddenly, now they were able to move it, but it was to a point where they could not move it, and it was two men trying to move a dresser. And I know that that dresser was movable because, like I said, it ended up somewhere downstairs in the basement in my mom's room. So how is it that we were able to move it downstairs to the basement, and my mom and these two guys were not? They were having a hard time moving it out of Karina's room. And that's the reason why they were moving it out of Karina's room, was because they were going to sand. They were clearing the floor so they can sand the floor. But that was one of the stories that they said.
Now,
Mm-hmm.
what is the story behind this house? Why is it so active with paranormal stuff? Did the previous owner or the neighbors tell you anything about it?
Well, my neighbor in the back, she said that the owner had died. I found out later. I found out because of my neighbor. She told me that apparently that the owner, the husband of the lady that I bought the house from, died in the house. But when I bought the house, I was like the third owner because I bought it off the second owner. Apparently, the second owner told me that she had lived there all her life with her kids. Now they were all grown because we had the same amount of kids. She said, "Oh, just like me." Like basically, I was repeating the story. But she said that the house had been built specially for this one guy built it for this one lady or his wife or whatever he was really in love with, and I guess she left him and he ended up dying, but she didn't clarify if the guy died inside the house or somewhere else or what kind of death he had. She never told me.
So
But
she never told you if he committed suicide inside the house.
no, but that house was scary as I've always had nightmares, and I'm sorry.
Don't worry.
Yeah, I don't know how.
I think we'll go like beep.
I don't know how you live like for 6 years or more.
No, because I had a cousin visit me from Mexico, and he was staying inside, and he was staying in the basement as
Tito.
well. Tito, right? And he said that he had dreamed about this one little girl at a corner near the fireplace,
Oh my God.
of which I don't think it was a dream because he just told me it was a dream, but he said that he woke up and suddenly he dreamed that he was dreaming that a little girl in a white dress was like literally sitting at the corner of the fireplace, and I had some flowers in there. She was playing with the flower. Another occasion that I remember that when Karina, for her 7th birthday, we decorated the basement completely because we were going to have her red carpet party downstairs. And I remember that the next morning, we went to bed late, and the next morning when we went down, we had made some, I guess, like curtains. And it's not like I would have understood if the curtains like would, the tape would they would fall and directly into the ground, right? No, these more look like if somebody had like grabbed them and tossed them across the room.
Oh my God.
So that's why I was like, oh, eat. That was for her birth. I remember that was for her birthday.
And
Other
I
occasions.
remember the time that you said that you were working in your office.
Uh-huh. Oh my God. So it was daylight. I used to do real estate. So I was following up on my calls and I was on the phone with an attorney. My daughter back then, she must have been like maybe 3 or
Yeah, she was
4.
under 3, no?
Yeah. And I would hear her cry and banging and something. So I figured, oh, she probably got like herself in the bathroom or something. And then I was again on the phone call with the attorney, and then my mom walks in with one of my older aunts, and she heard the banging and the crying, so she went to see what was wrong. And then she comes and tells me that why, after I hung up my call, she tells me that why did I had locked my daughter in the basement, because the top lock, that the basement, the door from the
Was
basement, you can
locked.
lock it from the top. I never locked it, and Karina could have not locked it because she was on the inside of the basement, like on the other side of the door, and she was little, and nobody else was in the house but me and probably a cat or two.
Oh my
Hmm.
Just
Yeah,
it must have been the cat.
and
It was the cat.
and the knob to lock it, it was on the top, and that was like literally the door that would lead to the basement.
Oh yeah, it was like a latch, right? All the way at the
Mhm.
top. I remember
Yeah.
that.
Mhm. And
Well, that's
so
pretty
many
spooky.
stories. It's like, I can go on and on with the house. Like,
But
mm,
So
why would the door latch be on the top though?
I don't know.
uh,
It makes no
that's a good
sense.
question. But I guess for a child not to lock them, I guess, because you
Yeah.
know how they had also kids before.
or maybe they were trying to keep that door locked from the little girl that they saw.
Oh
Mm-hmm.
my god.
Yeah.
I never thought about
And
that.
my dad, he was helping me clean the from the tile, the grout from the tile, and it was daylight bright, and he was on his knees. He said from the corner of his eye he saw somebody pass across the entrance room, which is like it was a tall ceiling, and that he was wearing a green shirt, I believe, and a hat. And he's like, I clearly saw it. It's not like, and it was daylight, but he doesn't recall. And I recall too, one time it was like maybe 12 o'clock p.m. One of my cousins, she was there visiting, and somehow she just got so spooked. She's like, I'm getting out of here, because she said that she saw somebody looking through the windows inside, right there where we were at.
Oh my
And it was
god.
and it was a weekday during the day, and she got spooked, and she's like, oh hell no, I'm out of here, I got the chills, and she left.
Well, that's pretty
And
spooky.
Yeah, it is.
yep. And then another time, it was my son Sal, his friend Nick, and me. Karina had gone camping, and David was in his room, and he was sleeping because he wasn't feeling well. So Nick, Sal's friend, and we were right there in the living room trying to see what we were gonna do, since I didn't have Karina. Well, we can go cruising, or we were gonna go and get some pizza or something. But because it was getting dark and David was not getting up, we decided to let's order something, right? So as we're there sitting in the living room, we had a dog named Pelusa, and the dog just suddenly started growling and barking something next to me, like towards, like looking. He was standing by the chimney, looking towards like the kitchen, but she was like growling at it, and we're like, what? Again, deep.
Like you've been seeing something.
Wow.
And then she would stop and she would like go back and forth, like barking at me. Sal and Nick just looked at each other. And we're like, oh my god! We got up so quickly, and there was like a small hall going towards the living room. We were pushing each other towards to go over there. We were like, oh my god, no, no, because we got scared. We all three of us felt the goosebumps right there and then, and we're like, that's it.
Oh my god.
Well, that's pretty scary.
Yeah, it is.
All right, well, I'm pretty sure they could keep going on and on and on
Oh,
and
I
on
have.
with a lot
Yeah,
of stories.
trust me. Oh, trust me. Yeah, a lot more stories.
All right, we're gonna have to save some for next Halloween then,
Yeah.
because we'll go on and on and on forever with that house. And you still and you still ask me if I wanted that house after all that.
Oh, yeah.
Are you crazy?
Oh, no.
Uh-huh.
I'm like,
Yeah.
nope. I'm like, no, thank you.
Oh no.
All right, Nancy. Well, we don't want to keep you awake. I know that you're very, very.
No, I'm gonna have nightmares.
Oh, it's perfect for the season.
Yes, nightmares.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much for taking this call, and we will be in touch. So for other topics, and
Thank you for sharing your stories. There's a lot that I honestly did not hear, and
I haven't really heard that many either way, so it's cool.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was scary.
Interesting.
That house was scary.
it was
Yeah.
pretty spooky. All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
thank you.
I mean, thank you very
You're
much.
welcome.
I said nutch. Thank you. It's because I was thinking about the
thank you.
spooky stuff.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Have a good night.
You
Bye,
too.
Nancy.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night.
That was a very, very spooky house, especially in the night.
Yeah.
You guys remember when we used to drive through there in the night?
Yeah, it was super dark. Like,
Well, yeah, the streets were really dark. Her backyard was pitch black, and apparently a lot of the encounters happened during the daylight.
yeah.
Imagine at
That's crazy.
night.
Well, just to imagine when Tito told us that story about him sleeping in the basement, and then you know where the chimney used to be
Yeah.
in the basement.
Yeah.
Well, that's where she had those big flowers that they were like toy flowers
In the corner, right?
in the corner. So, according to Tito, he said that he was on his bed. He opened up his eyes, and when he looked at the chimney, the little girl with the white dress was like swinging the flower in circles. So, I mean, if that would have been me, I would like been.
I would have ran out.
Yeah.
There was no time to run.
And not come back.
Yeah.
I think another spooky thing about her basement was also that wall that she had of all mirrors, and like the lighting too. It was the whole vibe just like gave me chills.
It was more in the basement.
And also like she had a bar too with mirrors on the wall with the shelves. That one was actually a pretty spooky bar too. Like I don't know, everything about the whole basement was spooky.
Yeah, it was very spooky. And then do you remember that room where she used to put her Christmas tree?
In the basement?
No, in the first floor.
And the entrance.
In the entrance.
And you guys remember that there was like some kind of a vent on the top of the wall?
Yeah. When you pass through there, you could feel it that somebody's watching you. Like you feel like I don't know, like something.
Oh, it like that scene in Insidious where like there was like she goes into the little boy's room and there's something like at the top corner of the
you
like the
always
dark top
turn
corner
to
of
that
the wall.
corner. I don't know why.
Oh my god.
You can feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was scary.
it kind of reminded me of The Grudge. You know how that little boy sneaks up on you and looks
I've never
through
seen The
through the
Grudge.
vents? Yeah, well, you already gave out that movie then. But it was scary. I even told Nancy, maybe there's some money up there. And there was like a white plastic bag in the vent.
Yeah, there was
Really?
something in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was,
What if somebody like hexed her house? An ex? You know?
I
I don't know.
Imagine that, Eric. I don't know if you went through that.
Well, that's when she was moving out of the house. She asked me if I wanted to keep the house, and I was like, "Oh, thank you."
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
I told Christina, "You want to keep the house?" And she's like, "Nope,
Nope.
nope." All right, cool. Well, let's call our next caller. Her name is Alex, and let's see if she's available.
Okay. I wonder what kind of
has a lot
stories
of
she
stories,
has.
yeah.
She has a lot of stories?
I don't know. Hopefully.
Let's see how many.
Supernatural experiences.
Hello.
Hello, Alex. How are you? We're calling you from the Popcorn Clash, and today is Halloween night.
Supernatural.
Oh my gosh, so exciting.
Hi, Alex.
But it's not actually
Hi.
Halloween night.
So who's all there?
Oh, it's Crystal.
Eddie.
And Christina.
Hi.
And me.
Hi.
And we're calling you because I know that you have some very, very, very interesting spooky stories that you could share with everybody.
Oh gosh. Don't we all have scary stories of our well, not my hometown, but I'll say my hometown, although I wasn't
Well,
raised there, but
I have one. Every time I get up in the morning, I look in the mirror. I'm like, oh,
Oh my god.
that's a everyday scary movie.
You're so honest.
oh my gosh. Yeah, that's hilarious. That's a good one, Edgar.
It's
But
the truth.
I was talking about Durango. That you know how I wasn't born or raised there, but living there only for what 2 years, living there 2 years, and hearing the endless stories that Mama Amparo used to tell us.
Right, right.
So yeah, but I mean, yeah, I guess I can tell you um certain things I used to experience at my mom's house in Durango.
Share with
I
us.
can share that.
Do it.
Sure.
Yeah, I've
Um,
never heard these stories before.
oh my gosh, I'm telling you, we really, honestly, Crystal, like between all the cousins and aunts, well, our aunts, my aunts, my mom are still here and chirping away. We need to write journals because they do have a lot of stories. But um so my parents' house, right, in Durango, they built that house. But before they built that house, that used to be a vecindad. And a vecindad is usually like like an apartment building, but
Mm-hmm.
it's almost like a just a one flat.
Yeah, like a one level.
And yeah, like a one level. And over there in certain areas it's usually like a room, and then in one room, the families accommodate like their kitchen and their bedroom, and then the whole, you know, building shares like the bathroom, blah blah blah, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, this house in particular is right next to Mama Amparo's house. So one year when my parents finally decided, okay, we're gonna go live in Durango, blah blah blah, my dad bought this property, and he tore it down, and then they started building their dream home. But before they started building their dream home, there was always like spooky stories about that house that already existed there, right? They would say that one thing in particular is that they would see like um, flame coming out in the back, just like at odd times in the middle of the night, and blah blah blah.
When you
And
say flames, that is that like a fire or something like that?
yeah, like they would say like they would see like a shooting flame coming out from the ground. Um, and there's a lot of theories on that, right? Why the flame will come out, but one of them is because usually there's like money that they say that
Mm-hmm.
like I guess the gases, right, of gold or whatever kind of metals produce that.
Especially in Durango.
Right, especially in Durango, and
Yeah.
especially in the neighborhood, because it's called Colonia Hipódromo, because back then that used to be an actual hipódromo.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens in an hipódromo? You have a lot of gambling. So back then, all the gold and everything. So supposedly there's still a lot of money in that neighborhood. But
Yeah.
anyway, so my parents bought this house, they tore it down, they built their own house. Um and after the house was already built, and even before it was finished, my parents decided they're going to come back to Chicago. So they came back to Chicago and they left all us there, meaning all us children in Durango, and my grandmother, like kind of keeping an eye on us.
Mm-hmm.
So we would sleep in the house, right? But the house was always kind of like eerie because you would always hear these stories about like, oh, you can hear like a thumping sound or blah 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 blah. I never saw anything in particular. I used to hear things in that house. One of the things in particular that I used to hear was
I used to hear in the middle of the night that they used to, whoever, spirits or whatever, they used to play with my brother's little Hot Wheels.
Really?
Cars,
What?
his little cars. Yeah, you can hear the cars like here and there. Not like crazy either, but you can hear the cars. Like, like somebody was moving the cars. Like, like when you roll the cars.
Mm-hmm.
That was one thing in particular.
Oh my god.
The other thing was you would hear a lot of playing of you know how you can play games with the bottle caps, right? They left ¿cómo se dicen?
The bottle caps, yeah.
Yeah, the bottle caps, right? You
Mhm.
can play games with them, and a lot of kids out there, or really anywhere, you can play games with them. So when they fall on the floor, you can hear them kind of like nickel, like they buckle or whatever. You can hear it.
Mhm.
Well, you would always hear this, but you would hear it in the night, in the middle of the night, when you were
wow.
sleeping.
Oh my god.
So like if they were throwing the bottle caps to the floor.
Yeah, like if they were playing, but we would hear those bottle caps like in the roof, in la azotea.
In the roof.
Yeah, but we wouldn't think, like, at least me or we wouldn't think anything of it. And my grandmother, she used to sleep with us, and she would say, "Ay, no es nada, no es nada. It's nothing. It's nothing." And then the other thing that we used to hear at night at that house was always a thumping sound. There was always a thumping sound that we would hear in the wall, like somebody was banging, doom, doom, doom. Anyway, so days would go by. My grandmother, Crystal and Eddie, if your dad hasn't told you stories, my grandmother always had kind of like that sense of, like, that sixth sense of, like, she can feel and see or whatever, like spirits and stuff.
I did
What?
not know that. I don't think you ever told us that.
I didn't tell you that, no.
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 Yeah, she did. She had that, and it got to the point so bad that she couldn't sleep at night, and she told us, it got to the point where she's like, "I can't stay here with you anymore." And we're like, "What are you talking about, Grandma?" And she's like, "Yeah, I can't sleep here with you guys anymore. I can't. It's impossible. I'm really scared." She wouldn't even go in that house when it was nighttime, because she says whatever was there wouldn't leave her alone.
Oh wow.
But me, me personally, like, I never saw anything, but those are like the rare things that I would hear in that house.
Has anybody ever seen anything like any of your siblings or your grandma or something?
My grandmother probably did, but she never, like, openly told us, like, I saw this. But there's a lot of stories in that house, like when Hector used to live out there with his family. Have you ever heard stories where where you call somebody out and then the spirit will answer you, and you'll think it's that person? Well, that happened to Hector.
Oh wow.
That happened to Hector. One day in particular, they were walking back into the house, and they thought that Raquel was upstairs, and it was something like that, where they were like, they called out, and then she was like, "Hey, are you coming?" or something like that. "We're leaving," or something like that. And they answered her back saying, "Yeah, coming." From upstairs, and it was
And she
the
was in the
voice
house?
of Raquel, but it wasn't.
Oh my god.
Where was
There
Raquel?
nobody there. There was nobody there. Then Mercedes and Raquel walked in through the front door, and then they were like, "Wait, weren't you upstairs?" And they're like, "Nope, we weren't upstairs." So things like that have happened in the house. My parents always say, "Oh, it's nothing. You guys, I don't know why you guys worry about it. Blah blah blah. It's all in your imagination." But no, I think I would freaking have a heart attack if something like that would happen. But yeah, there's plenty of spooky stories like that. Let me tell you.
Well, in that neighborhood, it was well known that there was a lot of paranormal activity going on, right? Not only at your mom's house, but also at our grandma's house around the corner. What was that story you were telling me about with about my aunt?
Okay, so again, like Crystal and Eddie, like if you can just imagine it, and if your dad just goes more into the stories, like, or just so you can imagine how the neighborhood is, like our grandmothers, like both my grandmothers lived just around the corner from each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Mami Esperanza, which is my mother's mother, she always had the habit that she would leave her hallway light on, because it was like a I know you're gonna come home late to the kids or the nephews, their grandchildren, whatever, so the light's gonna always be on for when you come home, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, this was already years after my grandmother already had passed away. And when my grandmother already had passed away, her daughters, our aunts, they would still go to her house. Like if they would all go to Durango, they would stay at her house.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there was this one time in particular where my tia Stella, this was back when she was still living in Guadalajara, she came in, she arrived to Durango pretty late in the evening. I don't know, probably like after 10 o'clock or something like that. And she told the taxi guy to take her to my grandmother's house, Mami Esperanza's house.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, but hold on, don't leave me yet. I got to make sure they're here. But when the taxi approached to in front of the house, the light went on in the hallway. So my aunt's like, oh yeah, my sisters are here. Ya están aquí mis hermanas. So, paid the taxi left. And my aunt saw off the car and she's knocking on the door. Well, she got tired of knocking on the door and nobody ever opened the door for her. So she just walked around the corner because my other grandmother lived there, Mama Amparo, my dad's mom. And she walked over there and she's like, oh, it's so late, blah, blah, blah. But, when I got there with the taxi, they turned on the light, but then they never came down to open the door for me. And my grandmother's like, what are you talking about? Nobody's there yet. Your sisters are not here yet. They haven't arrived.
Oh, wow.
So, like, again, nobody was at that house, at my grandmother's house. And they turned on the light on her. But the aunts, they kind of felt like it was almost like my mommy, like their mom saying, oh, welcome home kind of thing. I'm turning on the light for you.
Well, that's what she would do all the time when they would get there,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, that's what she would do.
Yeah,
And she would like to sit in that hallway and stuff like that. So yes, there's plenty of scary stories.
Scary stories.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. You know what? In that house, there was a year where that we actually lived in that house, and when you were sleeping in the rooms, right around 2-3 o'clock in the morning, you would hear some footsteps. Like if somebody was limping with a cane, walking with a cane, like if an old lady or an old person was walking through the hallway, you could actually hear the echo.
Oh.
It was pretty spooky.
Well,
what did you do?
I just covered my head with a pillow and
You just close your eyes.
yeah.
Well, Edgar, they would say that supposedly there was an old man que se parecía that would there was apparitions of an old man with a cane coming out of that bathroom upstairs.
Yeah.
So Crystal, like when you would walk upstairs to that second floor, as soon as you would hit the landing to your right, there was a closet, and in that closet, it was like a closet / bathroom, like a closet, and then you would go into a bathroom. Supposedly, that's where it would appear, right, Edgar, or something like that.
Yep.
The old man.
Yep. And it was just so scary. I mean, I'm telling you, there was this one time when Nancy was in the shower. I was in the room with a broken toe, and then the lights just went off like around 8 o'clock at night. Nancy just grabbed the towel, wrapped herself up, and I was like limping in one foot going down the stairs. Yeah, because I mean, I'm telling you, with all the lights on in that house, it was scary. Imagine all the lights off.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I would have literally cried.
It was that scary. And up to today's date, when I went to Durango, and I'm telling you, I got evidence. I took a picture of the room from the backyard towards the window, and you could see something.
Really?
Yeah, you could see.
Which one? Looking up to Mommy's room?
Yep, you could see a face.
Oh my god!
I have the picture. I have proof. People say that that's nothing, but trust me, I know what nothing looks like.
Oh, yeah.
This is.
I saw the picture.
It's a clear face.
Yes,
it's a clear face.
Oh my god!
Peeking out through the window.
Did you go into the house when you went?
Oh no.
No.
I was the smart one.
It's so eerie. Even to pass by the house, I feel it's like so eerie.
Yeah, it's
You get like creeped out. Like there's like something, I don't know. I feel that house is so eerie.
right now.
For sure.
Now that I have you on the phone, this last time that I went to Durango, when I was in the hotel, the first night that I slept there, in the hotel, because the hotel was built in like some kind of a clinic where they used to keep kids. It was like a medical center.
Clinic?
Yeah, it was
Okay.
like a medical center for kids.
Okay.
So they knocked down the medical center, and obviously a lot of people died in that center, adults and kids. So they built this huge hotel. So the first night that I spent there, in the middle of the night, I heard kids laughing in the hallway.
What?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So at first I thought I was dreaming, so I woke up. I looked towards the door. Nothing happened. I grabbed the sheets and wrapped myself up again. As I was doing that, I heard it again.
So you heard him more than once?
I heard it twice.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God. And do they ever knock on your door?
No, wait a minute. Let me get to that.
Oh.
So that was the first night. The second night, I heard coins that they threw coins on the floor. That was on a Tuesday. They threw coins on the floor. So I didn't have any coins. I only had bills, no coins. So that was on Tuesday. On Wednesday, my father, he was gonna go and pick me up because we were gonna go have breakfast. So he said I'll be there at 8. So when I was getting ready, they knocked on the door real hard, bang 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 bang, right? So I was like, okay. So I walked to the door. I said, well, my dad came up to the second floor, because I'm like, my dad, he uses his car. He can't go up to the second floor. So I went, opened the door. Nobody was there. Nobody was there. So I left the hotel.
gosh.
I left the hotel, and that was the time when they took me to the Catedral. Where I posted all those pictures and the video and all that. And I brought a little piece of the Catedral's bell. That's church. I brought it back. And when I brought it back, after that, I put it right there on my
Nightstand?
on my nightstand. After that, once I placed it there, I never heard anything again.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so that's scary. That was my last.
But you get scared, right?
Dang.
But you know what? I wasn't scared.
No?
No, I wasn't scared.
So then why didn't you open the door?
What was
Instead-
your reaction?
there.
He did open the door. There was no one there.
Now when the kids were laughing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
but I confirmed with the bartender on Wednesday night. I told him about the kids laughing in the hallway, and he said, "Oh, that's weird. Normally they laugh in the 5th floor."
Oh my God. You gotta be kidding.
Yeah. So I was like, "What?" So I was in the 2nd floor, and he's like, "Oh, normally they laugh in the 5th floor." So
Says it all casually too.
So I asked him, so this is something that's happened before? And he's like, oh yeah, it's happened before. It happens in the hallways, and I'm like, you're not scared? No, we got used to it. I'm like, what?
Oh, wow.
Oh no.
Yeah. So,
Oh no.
but you gotta think about it. A lot of kids died in that
Yeah.
clinic.
Yeah,
So
for
who knows?
sure.
Who knows what was there? I mean,
Yeah. What conditions they died in, if their their spirits are not at rest.
yeah.
It's scary. I think at this point, I think it doesn't matter what nice hotel you might stay at. Everything's haunted over there. I think.
Yeah.
I think so. And actually, Christina was talking about this one place in Texas. You said Texas? That
The railroads?
the railroad.
Oh, yeah.
About the kids pushing the cars out of the tracks or something like that. Did you know about that,
Really?
Alex?
No.
There's
Where?
actually a movie about
There's
that.
a movie, right? That's what I thought. Like, you park your car over train tracks, and then I think you just turn off the engine or something, and then
You put it in
Put
neutral?
it in neutral.
You put it in neutral, and then there's little kids like pushing
Well,
your car, or
They
there's
push
something
the
that
car
pushes
out
your
of the
car.
trail tracks.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of what I know, this is a story behind it. There was an accident in the train track. A
Yeah,
school
it was
bus.
a school bus.
A school bus with
10 or 15 kids.
with kids inside. It got stuck.
Yeah.
And the train hit the bus and killed the kids. Right.
Yeah.
So
They all died.
they all died. So now supposedly that if somebody comes in the car, you put it in neutral, in the same track, that they'll push the car out of the way.
Out of the trail.
They'll push
Oh
it out
my
of the way,
God.
right? Yeah.
I remember there was a movie with something like that, like a scene or a story around that, and
Yeah, but because that was a true story.
yeah, now it's gonna bug me that I don't know what movie
Oh,
it is.
I need to look into it, but I'm gonna have to do that during the day because I don't look at any Texas stuff during the night. It's only when there's daylight outside.
Okay, Alex, after this call, you're going to be able to watch Lilo and Stitch.
Oh my God! Yeah, I'm gonna put
Crystal.
on like the happiest movie ever. But here, let me just share this one last thing with you guys.
Okay.
Crystal, Eddie,
Mhm.
my grandmother, Mama Amparo, she would always tell us, if you hear something in your house and you feel you're scared, tell them to leave. Tell them to leave and go back where they belong. They don't belong here, and to leave you alone. Just be very angry and tell them to leave, and they're gonna leave you alone. And I'm like, oh my God, okay. But she would always tell us because she always had that she had that
That
that-
sixth sense.
yeah, she did. She
Yeah.
had that what do you call it? That gift. She was gifted. She was gifted, and I wish that, not wish, because they say that people who are gifted like that, sometimes it's it's kind of like a curse in a way, because if you don't know how to control it, it's not good. But I mean, yeah, it's pretty interesting. But I have another story about who has a gift in our family, Edgar, that you didn't know, but maybe I'll tell you guys that another time.
Oh, no.
Cliffhanger. Wait, who has a gift?
What?
Yeah.
Stay tuned for next week.
I'm not kidding you. It's pretty crazy, and I didn't know that about this person until when I went out there when my Tío Raúl passed away.
Okay, well, don't say it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't say
I'm
it.
not, but it's a pretty interesting one, though.
You're gonna have to tell us about it and the next episode before Halloween.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
we're gonna do this,
Sure.
and we're gonna
Yeah.
call you so you can share this story with us, because I'm pretty sure that the people they're gonna
I
be
want to
like,
know.
I want to know.
I want to know.
But it's gonna keep this interesting. So let's make sure that
Stay tuned.
you put that story together,
Leaving us on a cliffhanger.
and on our next show before Halloween, before the October 31st,
Yeah.
we're gonna have the last call for the spooky.
Okay.
And
Just don't do it on Halloween, because I will not answer the phone and talk about it.
Oh no!
A night before.
Yeah.
It'll be before Halloween. Trust me.
Okay.
All right, Alex.
All right.
Well,
Thank
thank you
you,
very
Alex.
much for taking the call, and hope you have a good night.
Thank
Okay,
you.
I will. I'll be putting Little Ponies on right now.
Thank you for sharing these stories.
Yeah, no problem. I'm telling you, Crystal, we can have journals of these wacky stories from the family. But well, everybody have sweet dreams.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Where do you guys have it? Scary. It's gonna be interesting to find out, because I don't even know what she's talking about.
No?
No. But I want to know. But obviously,
Yeah.
we're gonna keep this
We're good. Yeah.
for the next episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Stay tuned.
stay tuned.
That's another stories.
Those are pretty good stories. So I think we're gonna.
We need to call more members of your family, because apparently they've been through a lot.
Oh yeah. I think that in the next episode we could call a few more people
Yeah.
so they could share their stories.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess what do you guys think that for now we should close it up with this
This part of the
this
show.
part
yeah.
of the show? I mean, we don't want to keep people that spooked for so many minutes.
And come back to continue our where we left off on our cliffhanger.
Yeah, of course. So we just want to share our last thoughts for this show. Crystal?
I am spooked. I had chills listening to those stories, not gonna lie. My jaw was open the whole entire time I heard those stories. I'm just like shocked.
Me too.
Eddie?
What?
Literally.
What?
Yeah.
Christina?
I'm just gonna tell Crystal that one time she scared me.
I scared you?
Yes.
What?
Wait, you were
When?
like 3 years old,
I don't remember.
and you were watching cartoons, sitting on the sofa, and then I give you a lollipop, a candy, and you told me, "Hey, Mom, you forgot about my friend." Oh, what friend? Here, my friend is next to me.
Oh my
Give me one for my friend. I go, oh my God, Crystal, don't tell me that.
I had a little Casper the ghost friend.
I think you had an imaginary friend.
Oh my God.
Thanks.
Okay, guys. Well,
So you scare me.
I think you could share that other story with us next time in the next show. Eddie, your last words?
What? Bye.
Okay, Eddie doesn't have any words.
I don't know.
Okay. He's speechless.
And I'm going to share you my last thoughts.
Oh my God. Okay.
Have a good night, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Sleep with your angels.
Eddie,
Don't be scared.
What?
where's my car?
In the garage.
Oh, okay.
Where's my milk?
In the fridge.
Okay, I want some cookies.